Hello and welcome. My name is Paula Tackett, and today I'm going to be speaking with you about the Lex Arts latest project, the Lake Cumberland Slave Memorial. We will be helping them install an original art piece to memorialize the slave graves of the area, both marked and unmarked. We've been brought on as project manager for this, and to help us with that, we are applying for a $20,000 grant from the Ford Foundation. And what I'm going to be speaking about with you today is our program design, what led us to decide on the Ford Foundation, how we're going to execute and follow through with our project. So one of the first things that we want to define and discuss about this is the community need. What is the need? How do we know about it? We found out about the need that the Lake Cumberland area was having because the community quite literally brought it to us and set it in our laps. They came to Lex Arts and said, we really would love your help having this original work of art installed to serve as a memorial. This is something that we have gotten together as a community and decided that we want to do, and we think it needs to happen. There are hundreds of unmarked graves, as I mentioned before, in the area, and the Somerset is the main town involved in this, although the surrounding 3 counties are also considered the Lake Cumberland area. As a community, they realized with the recent racial tensions in the country that this was a very important and worthy cause, and Lex Arts is really excited to be able to help them use art as a catalyst for some of the social change we would love to see happen. The next thing I would like to discuss with you is the program design. When Lex Art was brought in on this project as the project manager, we went ahead and put a call out to artists, got several applications for people interested in creating the artwork for this memorial. The board and community has already voted and chosen the artist that they would like to create their original art piece. What we're working on now is waiting for approval from the board for the artist's production budget proposal. Over the next 2 years is the amount of time that we've allotted for the memorial to be created and installed, along with the educational material. The final memorial is tentatively going to open to the public in 2018. When it does, there will be educational tours given, program literature available, and this has been volunteered by the Mill Springs Battlefield Historical Society located there in Somerset. Lex Arts is also currently working on helping the Lake Cumberland Memorial Board fundraise for all of these wonderful changes we're about to undergo. Now, something else that we need to consider is the organization's background. Why is Lex Arts the perfect organization to lead this project? I'll tell you, we start with a strong history. We've been around since 1972. That's over 40 years working in the arts and for the arts in Lexington and the surrounding areas. Our annual fund for the arts helps raise millions each year and has really solidified us as a strong provider of funding to the arts. Our public art program has done a really great job in the Lexington and surrounding area of establishing themselves. They have over 15 years experience of installing public art and running those projects. And then finally, community ties. We're very familiar with the Kentucky area, and we could use this to really lead by example for making community ties with the Lake Cumberland Slave Memorial Board. Okay, next up is budget. Exactly how are we going to make this work? We are going to have a budget total of $100,800. The majority of that, of course, is going to be the construction and installation of the art piece itself. Lex Art's program management fee is going to be factored in there as a rather large chunk as well. And then we also have a good amount going to the maintenance fund to keep the future upkeep. We also have allotted amounts for the program materials, the educational development. We have an unveiling ceremony and celebration allotted for. We also have some miscellaneous expenses as well as a 20% indirect cost accounted for. And as far as where we're going to get the funding for this, we have a $40,000 grant coming from the National Endowment for the Arts. It is a matching grant, so the Lake Cumberland Slave Memorial Board will be needing to match that $40,000, and then we will be hopefully having the $20,000 come in from the Ford Foundation. So what led us to choose the Ford Foundation? We used the 4 filters plus 1 method to narrow down our list of possibilities to the Ford Foundation as our best option. Their mission aligns really well with our current project because it is to promote the inherent dignity of all people, and they have a current focus on inequality. I can think of no greater inequality than the slavery and the history of our country. They have a freedom of expression initiative, which is to promote diverse art spaces. Again, right in line with what we're doing. As far as the numbers go, they have given over $81 million to their freedom of expression initiative. And those grants range from $20,000 to $100,000. And although they have a global focus, 60% of their efforts are directed within the U.S. So we thought that this was definitely our best option. In order to fully evaluate if our project has had its intended impact, we will use both qualitative and quantitative tools, the first of which being a community satisfaction survey via social media. They already have a well-established Facebook page and email base. We intend to also distribute the upkeep and improvement open forum on the same manner. The educational evaluation, we will email surveys to teachers and chaperones after a guided tour has been completed. And then as far as the utilization and the reach of the program, we'll use a quantitative measure by counting the number of guided bookings for tours with a goal of 16 for the first year, and obviously a goal to raise that as time goes on. The reach, as far as that goes, we would ask where the individuals were coming from upon a tour booking, and then the annual results of all of these will be shared with the board as well as with the public via Facebook and social media. Finally, we want to discuss sustainability. Will these changes stick? The good thing about this project is that once the initial construction is complete, there is very little by way of funding and effort that needs to be put forth to keep the memorial running. There will be 2 areas. The first is educational tours and literature. The Mill Springs Battlefield has decided to donate the initial literature and to also provide volunteers for the tours. Tour fees will cover the additional literature and replacements for this. The maintenance and groundskeeping is the other area. The city is donating the green space that the memorial will be located on, so the surrounding green space will continue to be cared for by the city. No change will be needed there. The art preservationist that we will hire to come in and do an annual cleaning and upkeep on the actual memorial itself, there is $7,000 built in for that in the initial budget, and then tour fees will also help replenish that fund as we go. I want to thank you so much for your time. We are very excited here at Lex Arts to have the opportunity to affect a social climate change with public art. If you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me at my email, paula.tackett@uky.edu. Thank you again, and it was a pleasure talking with you today.